Part of the reason I left the scene around 2011 was life-related. My friends and I graduated high school and went off to college, with other things occupying our time and new experiences to chase. Plus, from my perspective at least, there really wasn't much innovation happening in the scene anymore. Bands like A Day to Remember and Asking Alexandria were almost like the last movers, where every band that came after was trying to copy them as much as possible, with some exceptions like progressive metalcore act volumes. I can point to a specific moment when I was like, yup, they're out of ideas, and it was when I saw the music video for Apology Rejected by These Hearts. Fashion-wise, the neon cartoon monster merch was disappearing, giving way to impact font slogans, and the colorful swoopy hair was slowly being replaced by the accursed comb-over fade look, with a few notable holdouts, who began turning up the neon. Remember my super scientific chart from earlier? While I thought the increasing amount of color was a cool addition to the look, I think I was sadly just getting too old for it. This is me from spring 2011, one of the last times I was in full scene gear. You can tell by my shorter, only slightly swoopy hair I was ready to be done with the scene. Like all good things, it had to come to an end, but what a ride it was. Ultimately, I had no regrets about leaving the scene when I did and never felt like I missed much. It's interesting after the fact to read about the rise and fall of people like Brian Stars and My Digital Escape. As I was over the scene around the time they were active, I never knew about Brian Stars or My Digital Escape until I started consuming scene content again a decade later. But Johnny Gilbert seems like a cool guy with a good head on his shoulders. Post-hardcore, metalcore, deathcore. Although bands like Black Veil Brides, Memphis May Fire, Pierce the Veil, Sleeping with Sirens, Attila, Falling in Reverse, Ice Nine Kills, and Motionless in White got popular from 2012 to 2015, the scene had been in a steady decline for almost half a decade, and these bands were essentially the last wave, through no fault of their own. No song sums up the end of the scene era more than Breathe Carolina's 2014 song Sellouts, which was an anthem for turning the page on this once vibrant subculture. I said I was done with the scene by this point, but that wasn't 100% true. In early 2012, I was going through some personal issues and happened to see that I See Stars' Digital Renegade album had just come out. I went and got the album and I played the hell out of it despite no longer being a scene kid. I'm not going to spout nonsense about how that album healed me, but it did allow me to feel like myself again for 30 minutes at a time, which was one of the things that helped me eventually claw my way back to normal. So I'll always love this album, and I'll always be grateful to I See Stars for creating it. It makes sense in hindsight that I See Stars were one of the original crabcore bands despite having a delayed start, because in the end, they were the ones who stayed truest to the sound and what the scene meant even after the movement was over.